Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be installing the trail tank to increase the fuel capacity on the Honda Talon. But before I do that, I got a couple mods for my GoPro Hero 10 to hopefully help with the lighting and the sound quality. So first we have the light mod. So hopefully this helps. And secondly, I have the media mod. Let's check these out. So for the rest of the video, I'll be shooting on the GoPro Hero 10 with the media mod and the light mod. Let's see how much that helps. But it's a very hot summer day, so let's get this over with and get this trail tank installed. First thing you're going to want to do to install this trail tank is remove your seats. A couple Allens here, a bolt back here, and back here. Since I'm running 4-point harnesses, I'm going to have to remove the harness back here. That's not a problem, and I'm also going to have to be careful with the rugged radio setups. Alright guys, sorry for the fan, but like I said, it's the summertime, so I got the fans going. And this is the last bolt to remove the seat. Next, we're going to take all these off. All the center console over here, all these push pins got to go. We'll remove this. We'll remove this piece, which is actually all one piece. So there are plenty of push pins, body pins to take out. And we're going to have to get a couple of Allen heads for the floor, and all this should come out as one piece. I got myself this cool little tool. Not this. This is just a little flathead to kind of pop them off. And you come in with this guy, and they just come right out. And this kind of saves your fingers, saves some push pins. I used to use just a flathead and like some needle nose pliers, or just use my fingers, so it saves a little bit of time and energy. Okay, so once you got all the push pins out, don't just yank this out willy-nilly. You gotta remove the plug that's for the cigarette lighter that's in the back here, so there you go. And now the whole thing should just come right out, no problem. So I was trying to remove this without having to take off both seats, but it's connected in the middle, so I really don't have a choice unless I straight cut this thing in half, which seems like overkill, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to keep my seat belts installed and see if I can just keep them out of the way. If not, I'll have to remove those as well. So yeah, that second seat's got to go. Now with everything loose, this piece just comes off. Alright, so there we go. Came out. Only one big piece. Kind of a pain in the butt, but we got it out. So before I do anything else, I'm going to clean up down here, get all this dust out of here. And this crossbar, I'm not sure if it needs to come out or just lift up. This is what the chair bolts to. So I'm going to get all this cleaned up, remove the tank, and see if I need to remove this completely or just unbolt this side and lift it up. Okay, so when I opened it up, a little bit of gas came out, but it's no big deal. It's pretty much empty. Now that the tank is loose and the bar is moved over, let's see if we can lift this tank out. So to get this ring off, you got to give it a couple taps counterclockwise here. I found that I pretty much had to hit almost every single one, even though you would think that it would all just spin around. And then this ring just comes right off. So you got to be careful when you pull it out. A little bit more gas in here than I hoped there would have been. I'll just let this drain for a little bit. And then you can see the floater right here. Oh, well, actually you can't, my arm's in the way. I don't know if you can see that. The floater's in there, so when I pull it up, I gotta tilt it at an angle here. So that's the fuel gauge of the floater. And the whole pump assembly just comes out. Okay, so I wanted to show swapping over the pump in case it wasn't clear. So I took the O-ring from the first gas tank, bring it over to this side, fandangle this in here, like so. Alright, kind of compress it down, see if I can turn it a little. Alright, plate 2 has a cutout for this piece here. So we're going to go ahead and line that up. Right there. And we're pretty well lined up. Now we grab these Torx provided from trail tanks and tighten them down. Okay, so these rubber pieces, it's actually recommended to either put some tape or zip tie them where possible. This one and this one are pretty solid, so I'm not worried about those. These two, however, just came right off. So I got some double-sided Gorilla Tape just to kind of hold them in there so they don't fall off when I'm putting the new tank in. I don't even know if that's gonna stay. Guess we'll see. Okay, so the tank is inside. I didn't have to remove this bar at all. You put it in sideways and kind of like tilt it in that way. You're gonna have to move these out of the way to get it to fit, but it fits. No reason to take this out. So there's all these spacers. They're clearly marked. This one says front. So does the one on this side. And there's one back here that says rear. That's a taller one. Off of the original tank, you got to take off these rubber grommets and replace them. There's also these little shoulder washers that need to go in here as well. Alright, so that's it. All the plastic's back in. Tank's down. I got the chairs. This one's loose, but the other one's in. The back piece is in. All the push pins. All I got to do now is redo the harnesses and the lines for the rugged radio. And that's it. Easy peasy.